Welcome. This reading is about the upcoming journey where Mars is in retrograde and traveling from Leo back into Cancer and coming back. And this is a really long journey that we deal with in December, January, February, March, April. So until Mars will be back in the place where it started, it will take a couple of months where we have to deal with this change in energy, because Mars is about our life force, right? And the lion in our chart is about our heart space and our passion for life and our childlike creations. And everybody has a fifth house in the chart, and everybody has a Leo somewhere in its chart. And if you don't know where that is, just go to astro.com, draw your own chart and see where the placements are in your own astrology. And this Mars retrograde is really special because Mars retrogrades into Cancer. And so we face this time being a little bit cut off of our energy, or better to say it's changing, and we have the chance to look deeply into our emotional truth, into our way of dealing with energy as well, and the action we can take on it. And this one is about our own integrity, our own truth. And if you want, you can take a look back at the last retrograde of Mars at the end of 22. It was at the end of October in 22. But it was a little bit different because it was a retrograde in Gemini. So that was a little bit about communication, where you acted in a way that you may be reviewing today. What did you decide back then, and what is it that you wished for, and what wants to be corrected? You know, if you look back, you can see, oh, this is what I did, and it didn't turn out like I wanted it to. So the time between October, at the end of October of 22 until now, what didn't work out? So what can you change right now in your actions to get to the place where you really want to go, or where your heart wants to go? But if you want to look at a bigger picture, you can look back when Mars was last retrograde in Leo. And it was like it is now, right? And it was in the end of 2009 and until the beginning of 2010. It didn't go back into Cancer. It just stayed in Leo. And to look back, what was happening in your life back then? What would you do differently? And however you decide what was important in that time, can you look at the place of Leo in your chart? So these areas of life are affected by this Mars transit right now. And so that's about re-evaluating our decisions and finding the truth beneath all the actions we take. What is the real truth? What is the truth in your heart? What is your integrity in all of this? And do you have the willingness and the courage to rewrite your story? Because that's what this heart of the lion tells you too, that there is something in your heart that you want to accomplish, that you want to realize, and can you see the bigger picture where you decided things that are not working for you or that didn't work for you, and are you willing and daring to rewrite your story? And in the time Mars is in Cancer, And that will be in the beginning of January. I think on the 6th of January, Mars will retrograde into Cancer again. Then the energy will change again, and it will be good to use this transit as a way to look at your emotional patterns. And Leo in Cancer feels really different than Mars in Cancer. I meant in Cancer feels really different than Mars in Leo, because in Cancer Mars is in his fall, so it doesn't feel really good in Cancer. And we can see in these moments where we're not willing to be responsible for our own emotions, take responsibility for what you feel, where we stepped into blaming others, or where we choose to be passive aggressive. And that's just a way not to take responsibility for what you really feel. And this time is about understanding, and understanding what lies beneath, and in all that you see, that's a time for inner work on the one hand, and on the other hand it's taking new actions to get into the place where you live your own integrity. And it's inviting us to look from our love for life and for our heart energy and our childlike creation, and to bring these questions into our lives, to see where we can nurture ourselves and the parts that want to be lived and realized. So that's a really powerful transit that is happening, and we can use it not to feel powerless. A better way is to just look back and to see, oh, this is what I thought I would create, but I didn't. And maybe I can do something else where I step into the real path that I want to walk on, to fulfill my heart's desire, and to be in an emotional state that I really want to be in. And so now I get into the sign that I'm reading today. Welcome, Capricorn. First, I want to draw a couple of cards to lead us in, and if you want to skip this part of the cards selection, you can just move forwards. I have timestamps in the description below and in the first comment. And first I want to know something about the actual situation you are in, and I take for this, I'll take 3 Lenormand cards, and then I want to know what is ready to decay. So what can you let go in this Mars retrograde? What can you let go? What doesn't have any meaning anymore? And so past influences, and so I see this one. And then we want to know something about the shadow side and the night side, or whatever we need to know about what was the illusion, or is the illusion, or what is there to know about this. And then we want to see what is the next path, and the next what has meaning now. So what's your new path that you are on right now, and what has meaning? And I think it is this gene key, and we want to have a archetype as well. What has meaning now? And I feel that this is this one. And then I want to know what you don't see coming. And there we have this one and this one. And I want to have a dragon card as well. What you don't see coming. And this one. And I want to draw tea leaves as well, although I never know how to handle these cards because they are so many and they are really difficult to handle. So, but I think these are the things you don't see coming. And then we want to know what you have to be aware of or what you hide for yourself or from yourself as well. And we want to see what is hidden there. Take this one and this one. And what is supporting you? What is supporting Capricorn? There we go. And we have a familiar as well supporting you. And it's this one and this one. So these are the cards that we chose before, and so I draw other cards along the way about is our next phase unfolding and a message from Spirit. But first I want to know what is the actual situation right now. And this seems to be a challenge that you have in your actual life right now. It's about movement. It can be that you have a challenge with a younger male figure in your life, that you have a challenge with communicating with this person, or it can be that you have a difficulty when we look inside this challenge. It's about your moving forwards causes you a difficulty with staying in your receptive and divine feminine part. So it is about the inner challenge of moving forwards and keeping this balance of receiving and being in the flow of life. So being and can be a difficulty in your pathway right now, where you cannot connect the things that want to be done and at the same time staying in this feminine part of yourself. And the next card was what is ready to be decayed right now and what is ready to be let go. And the Ice Queen is about your entitlement, about the ideas and non-action. And it's when we get to this conflict of moving forwards and keeping yourself in the tender place of receiving, it is like oh, I don't have to do anything, and something comes to me because I am staying right here. And that's like entitlement of something is meant for you, and you don't have to act accordingly on it. And that has to go now. This is the moment where you can allow yourself to be humbled in this moment, because it is about you not being something different from other people, right? Entitlement is often like a form of arrogance, where we think we are something better, we have to receive without doing anything about it. And that's the invitation to let that go, to let the connection of, oh, this is connected to non-action, and that's not the truth. That's sometimes a difficulty, where we try to connect the masculine to the feminine, and we think the feminine is just in the place of being and receiving, and she doesn't have to do anything to receive. But that's like entitlement. Of course, there are things we can do accordingly where we want to be, and the dreams that we have about life, that we can proactively act on them without being out of this tender place of flow in life. That's not being, is not about not acting. It's about being and receiving and doing the things when they are meant to be done. And that's stepping into this place of action that doesn't have to be a masculine trait, that doesn't have to be in this part. And that's maybe it's a difficulty for you to get this in sorted out, because it is brought to you, maybe even that if you are in this place of being and receiving, that it is a place of being non-active. It is about, don't you have something to do? And maybe it is connected to a judgment of oh, this is being, sitting around and just being and receiving, right? And that's not what it means. It means being connected to yourself, being connected to the inner world, being vulnerable at the same time as acting on your dreams. And that's a different state of being than just being and just not doing anything. That's not being. That is just stagnation. And so to let that go, that there are no ideas preserved, right? It is like frozen in time. It feels like frozen in time, and that's not what is meant to happen right now. You have to stay in your present moment, to stay in the flow of life, in your own emotions in this moment, and then act on them, because there is no such thing as entitlement. There is no way that you are better than other people, right? And we see the shadow behind it. And the shadow comes with this being the seeker and being in a dreamy state of And that might be that you feel that this is a dreamy state of being the poet that is creating things and dreaming about the future. The poet is, and the seeker is searching for better times, searching for or waiting for the summer to come. That can be something to that is in your life right now, that you are seeking for better times, but you are not doing anything about it. And maybe even having struggles to stay in this place of vulnerability, stay in the place where you have to feel your emotions that come with the stress that is in your life right now, and not to know what to do about it. So seeking for the summer in this present moment of the ice age, right? And singing to the moon to create something else. And that's not what this shadow side, right? To see what led to this, what is the illusion in this. And it's like seeking for the summer, seeking for something to come, better times to come, and to create poems about it and not act on it. There is nothing wrong about creating poems. And if creating poems is something that leads you on your path, that's the right thing to do. But it's not about singing your poems to the moon to get into a place that is warm and not as cold as the ice age here. So it's about the illusion that comes with you singing and wishing and doing things that are not in your path, that are something else, to be in an illusion itself, right? So if you are a poet, create and take action on getting yourself out there. That's what I mean, right? Create, that's the right thing to do. And then create your better life, because that's what this card shows us, that there is nothing to hold back. If you created something and you don't get it out there, it is like an idea preserved. It's like non-action. It's not doing anything to get yourself into motion. And I think that's the difficulty in this is the perception that action is masculine and being in this place of tenderness and receiving is feminine, and then you don't have to do anything. So it's like a false perception of what that means. And being in a creative space and allowing yourself to create from this space and bring this out into the world is a appropriate action to take, because then you don't stay in the dream world, because you do something to get it out there, to be seen and to be in the dream that you want to live. And we see the 50th gene key is your new path, and that's an interesting gene key, because it is about the corruption. It's the pathway from corruption to harmony, and it is about equilibrium. And that's a beautiful confirmation for this, because if we are in the place where we keep ourselves from acting because we think we are we can be entitled or something, then we corrupt ourselves. And that's not about corruption in the outer world. It's corrupting your own emotions. It's corrupting your own way of being and acting on the things you want to act on. Because in these moments where you are out of balance, and that's a card, the bird are a card about stressful thinking. They are about stress and stress between people, and it can even be being in a struggle with another person. But if it takes us out of our balance, it is corrupting our own thoughts. It's about the corruption is you doing things or not doing things that are corrupting your way and your pathway. And this even can be that you are not that you don't have the guts at the moment to bring your creations out in the open, and while you are holding back and preserving these ideas, you're corrupting yourself. That's what it means, right? And to stay in this balance of equilibrium and allowing the emotions to be there and not to put too many meaning on it, to stay in this place of balance. That is what leads into harmony, and not to fall for the idea that your mind tells you that something is happening that is not. So that's being a little bit like frozen in time, and that's the invitation to get out of it and stop corrupting yourself by doing things that are not helpful in your approach to the things that you really want to experience. And we have the horses, the 31. And this card is about the ancestors. And maybe that's a thing, right, where you can rely on the ancestors to ask for questions and what to do next. And the horse ancestors: species, wisdom, collective memory, ancestral patterns affecting current events. The eternal spirit of the horse breathes in the memories and experiences of all horses, guarding the integrity and destiny of the species, infusing living members of the herd with the wisdom of the ages. When you engage with the collective memory of another species or your own, you access a wealth of information beyond personal experience. And it can be that there is something in your ancestry that brought you to this place. Maybe there were experiences where, especially maybe women, if they were in this place where they were in this creative space, were judged for not doing anything. And this can be a different layer of this whole aspect as well. Is creation for you something that is something valuable, that you are doing something valuable? Is it that you judge yourself for not doing anything if you are in a creative space? And is this something your ancestors thought as well, that the creation and the receiving the flow, that it is not doing? And this can be the other side of this shadow, right? That it creates, on the one hand, it creates a beautiful feeling inside of yourself if you create, and then you judge yourself by not doing anything because you're just creating. You're just receiving or just being in the flow. And what if that is the corruption, that thought is the corruption that causes you your equilibrium, that takes your equilibrium from you, that causes you not to be in harmony because you believe that this is nothing to do, that is nothing that is valuable in the perception of the world, how the world is judging, doing, and being. So you decide for yourself what is the right perception for you right now. What is your problem with this being and doing conflict? What is what are your ancestors? What did your ancestors experience in this part of creation? And it can be really something that your ancestors experienced as well, of being not worthy because they were just poets. But that's not a thing, right? And this leads to what I said in the beginning, that leads to something that you don't put it out there. You don't do anything with it because you think it is not valuable. And then you have to sit there and wait for a better summer and wait for warmer climate, because you're not doing. And that's worth, that's worth putting out there. That is your way of creating, your way of seeking, and for creating a better future for us is a way of doing. So what you don't see coming is a strength coming with this. And we have a second card. And it's a change of, and that's beautiful, because it is a change of your perception, a change of perception of yourself, because that's what the moon is about, right? It is about the knowledge that you are creating something really valuable. It is the knowledge that you are doing something, and to get yourself out of this non-action and out of this having all the creations in your desk and preserving them there. It is, you get out of this because you get into a place where you feel the strength coming from your emotional side, coming from this divine feminine side. You feel the strength coming with it, and then you are able to act on it, because then you realize that is what I have to do. I have to get myself out there. That is a way of doing that is enough for me to get into the place where I want to be. And the place where you want to be is in harmony with your life, with yourself, with all these forces and the world, how the world is asking you to act. And that's what you don't see coming, is that you will be moving forwards. This is your enlightenment about this too. And sometimes we have to be in a conflict like this, where we don't know how to do, how to be, and what is what. And does that mean I don't have to act? Or how can I connect these both sides? And to get into this place of equilibrium and harmony, we have to have our insights. And that's what the enlightenment means, that you get it at one point. You get what is needed in the next moment, right? And there is the fear and the worry, and that's coming with the vulture. That is really the thing that is keeping you in this loop right now. That you fear that you don't have what it takes, and it is. You have what it takes. And even to give other people your creations is connected to the fear that you will be criticized. But that's not what's happening. You will have good luck in these adventures that you are taking on right now. And if you step into this place of enlightenment and creating and being there for yourself, that's the moment where you get something back, and that's from your own heart. That's from this place of being in in equilibrium, being in harmony, and that's what gets you into the place where you are balanced, and you can let go of this shadow side and of this fear and worry that you are not perceived in the right way. That's and the enlightenment and this moving forwards, coming with this understanding that all the trouble and all the stress and all the corruption happens because of your mind telling you that you are not making it, that you will not get it. And that's the turn of the events, right? And if you allow this Mars retrograde to be the time where you go inside to explore all of these fears that are inside of you, keeping you from creating and doing in the outer world, then you will solve this problem and this riddle. It's like a riddle, you know. It's like you want to know, and the hidden things that you want to be aware of. It's especially for you because the Mars retrograde happens in your 8th house. And so it is about your hidden things that you hide from yourself, and that is what a beautiful combination. You've got the magician. That's the alchemical power you've got inside of you by creating from the place you create from. That is a beautiful power you have, and to create from this place is something that is needed to step into the place of equilibrium and harmony, because you have to realize at one point that it is you. It's you doing the alchemy. It's you creating with the ancestors, with the creative force you've got, because you are the seeker. You have the light in your heart, and that's the light side of it, you know. If you're searching for the summer and for the warmer weather, you can realize that it is in your heart, and that you are creating the cold weather, the stuckness, and all of these things by corrupting your own mind, your own heart, with your thoughts, right? And that's the invitation to create and to create, and that's an alchemist, right? The magician he has everything he needs to create magic, to alchemize things. That's what he does. That's you. That's hidden from you because you don't believe in yourself. You think that this is something like putting yourself in a better position, right? And so that's your creation. What is supporting you? Yeah, that's the 8th house, the unseen, right? Aletheia, the truth that you can create and that you can sustain. That's a thing that you connect to the masculine. They have to do something to be sustainable, but it is you creating this, and creating this through honoring your body as it is, right? To see that everything is connected, and to see that you are sustainable if you tap into this unseen, connected to your body, and to allow this to be your truth, to show your truth to the world, and it will sustain you. And that's not what you believe. You think that this is not worth doing anything about because that's not sustainable. And I think that's a story behind it. It feels like there is a story behind it that is coming from your family, from someone who told you that this is not sustainable, that is not able to be something valuable. But it's not true. You are the magician. You are someone who can create magic from this place, and from the unseen and from the 8th house, from the hidden parts of yourself, you can create something that is really magical and that is true. And that's the most important part of it, because it is true. It is not corrupting yourself. It is not doing anything to you. It's not harming yourself. And it keeps you in equilibrium. And it keeps you in the harmony that you long for. And then it emanates, it exudes from you. The equilibrium is you enter a room and you are in this place, and everybody feels it. Everybody. That's so attractive in people, if they are in this balance and if they are in their own harmony, not fighting these fights about being and not being worthy of creating these parts. That's you're stepping into this magic of your own alchemy, where you can combine things that are not combinable. I don't know if this is a word, but they are normally not combined. So you do things that are worthy of being seen, to get them out there and to allow others to participate in this. And so what is supporting you? That you know about all of this, and that you, because you went through all of these experiences, and you can see that there are people in this world that are judging, but it is supporting you that you have something like a sixth sense. And the sixth sense tells you who to connect to and who not to connect to not be in the place where you allow other people to judge you and to cause the damage that was caused before. You already had this damage in your family, that you didn't know how to combine all these things, right? And to stay connected to the feminine side and to the masculine side. And that creates a lot of disturbance inside of yourself, corrupting your own emotions and your own mind. And so that's your the part of you that is connecting you to the red flags when things in the outer world are happening that are corrupting, and to connect to the part of you that is immortal. You know, all of these things, and creating and connecting with the parts of you that are unseen, that can be 8th house stuff, being afraid to die, being afraid of other people to die. And what if you can create something magical with this knowledge that you are afraid of that happening, and connecting to the part of you that knows that you are immortal. There is no such thing as dying. There is no such thing. There's just a transformation. And to get into the place where you believe this. Yeah, beautiful. And it's the eyes of the eagle and rising above the fray. And it's what I meant before. It's the knowledge that if I go into a place where I am above this tumult, the stress, when I'm above all of it, then I can see the truth. I can see that I am that I'm creating the drama, that I'm creating the corruption, that I'm allowing other people to judge, that I allow myself to judge as well, and to not step into this magic because I think it's unworthy and it's not doing anything and it's not creating anything. So that's where you step in and you rise above your own drama that you create in your mind right now, and step above. And that's, you know, in your sign in Capricorn, your Pluto entered, or Pluto left your sign and for good now and went into Aquarius. But that can be difficult too, because if Pluto is in your sign, destructing and creating all the different changes in your life for the last 16 years, it has a totally different way of being right now. It's a totally different energy that is in there, right? And so that can be difficult as well, to deal with this change of frequency, to change with this change of energy that is happening in your second house right now. So it can be about resources, it can be about your values, and that's what I mean. It's about resources, values, what you create, and that it is it's sustainable, although you think it is doing nothing. So what if it is doing something? What if you can put it out there to create from this place and to allow other people to participate, right? So what if that is a truth as well, right? So, and we have the Seven of Wands. That's the thing you are in right now, right? To deal with all of these different beliefs. And the Ace of Swords cuts through the mind. It cuts through the thoughts, and it creates hygiene in the thoughts, that you tell yourself that's not true and that's not helping me, right? And to finish this circle, to finish this part of your life where you believed what people in your youth told you what is valuable and what is not, and step into your own embodiment, and that's creating the temple for yourself and stopping to corrupt yourself with the things that you do, and allow the emotions to be the cup that needs to be filled and that it wants to overflow, right? And to deal with the different sides of you that are juggling with action and being yourself, right? And to have enough patience with yourself to step into the place where you can be the alchemist, the magician as well, to create from this place and then be the star that you are. And it's following your North Star as well, following this dream that you have about creations, about things that can sustain you, that can nurture you. And that this is something you really are doing. But you have to get yourself out there with all of the things that you created. And then there is this beautiful deer with a rainbow on its head, creating the sustainable income. And that can be really income with in money and resources. And that's what this deer is showing you, that you are on this pathway, and it's like the color of the stars flew into this rainbow. That's really beautiful, because it is like a continuation, how I put it on the table. And often everything is part of the reading, and even what you experience right now in this flow of energy, that if you follow this path and if you allow yourself to be in this way, in this part of creation, and put yourself out there, do something that allows other people to see you in this brilliance that you are, in this alchemical process that you are doing, to get something in your full embodiment. Get yourself into allowing yourself to sense the world and to fill your cup with all the things that you do, that you combine, and where you can create and have this alchemical process for yourself and for others to witness. And that's a journey, that's a journey. Even if you can create something about this journey of your struggle in these both sides of the same coin, if you can allow to share this, other people will have a beautiful value coming out of it. That's valuable for other people if you share it. So, and that's our card. Blessings bestowed. There is no end to the Divine Mother's ingenuity and grace. No obstacle can obstruct her generosity and protection. So get used to the feeling of the joy of knowing something truly precious is going to unfold in your life. Nurture that feeling like you would the readiness for spring in your heart when winter is upon you. You know it is coming, and you anticipate it with such pleasure. Yeah. What a confirmation for you, right? What a confirmation. Allow yourself to step into this place, and blessings will come your way. Create. Be in this flow of your tender heart, and create from the hidden realms of your being, and then act on it and get it out there. It is valuable. Even when your mind is telling you and corrupting you, telling you that it is not. It is. And it helps other people. It connects to other people, and it shows the equilibrium inside of you, and that is infectious. And equilibrium and harmony is something that is flowing into other people, and that is allowing other people to be in this place as well. Capricorn, thank you so much for being here and for allowing me to read and to be with you, and to be with this beautiful journey you are on into your own harmony by confronting your corruption and by stepping into the equilibrium that comes with your creation and your action that is valuable to get out there into the world. Thank you so much, and I see you soon.